ज्ञातिगिरान्तस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारणं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। आराध्यो भगवान् व्रजेशतनयस् तद्धाम वृन्दावनम्। रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधू वर्गेण या कल्पिता। श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेमापुमर्थो महान्। श्रीचैतन्यमहाप्रभोर्मतमिदं तत्रादरः न परः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. We have gathered here today to celebrate and observe the Vivaha Samskar of Siddhanta Ratna Das, known to many of you as Anand, and also Nitya Kishori Sakhi, who is very much known to all of you who are from Chennai. We have heard some things about the significance of the Grihasthashram and the importance of the Vivaha Samskar. As His Holiness Bhanu Maharaj has mentioned, the word Samskar is an act of purification, of attaining perfection, etc. So at various stages in life, there is a need to perform different types of such purificatory ceremonies. The Vivaha Samskar is one amongst many such samskaras that have been recommended in the Vedic scriptures, because the purpose of human life is purification to attain the highest spiritual state of consciousness, to attain spiritual perfection. The Vivaha Samskar indicates the entry into the Grihastha ashram. The ashram is a place where one resides, taking shelter of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. An ashram is not meant only for brahmacharis, vanaprasthas and sannyasis. It is also meant for householders who are living in married life with or without children. So that is an important aspect of life. An ashram means a place to take shelter. So it is not that in the other three ashrams one can devote oneself to Lord Krishna, but one does not have to do so in the Grihastha ashram. That is not the case. Whichever the ashram, whichever the situation in life in which Lord Krishna places us, or which by destiny we have arrived at, we should always see that in connection to the ultimate goal of our life, which is the attaining of pure devotion to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj was once speaking about an incident in which one devotee approached Srila Prabhupada when she was about to get married. And she asked how things should go on after marriage, after the wedding was over. Srila Prabhupada gave a very interesting analogy. He said, the husband is like the right hand, the wife is like the left hand, or if you want to turn it around also, there is no problem. The wife is like the right hand, husband is like the left hand, no problem, whatever you prefer. But the wife is one hand, husband is another hand. Do the two hands operate independently? Are they separate from each other? They are connected to each other. How are the two hands connected to each other? Because of the body. The right hand is connected to the body. The left hand is also connected to the body. And therefore, the right hand and left hand are both connected. But they are connected because of the body. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada said, the husband is one hand, the wife is the other hand, and Krishna is like the body, who is in the center, who connects the right hand and the left hand, which means the husband and the wife. In other words, what Srila Prabhupada was explaining was that in any situation in life, but especially so in the Grihastha ashram, the husband and wife should keep Lord Krishna in the center. Now this applies for all situations, all ashrams. It applies to any relationship in this world. Whether it is husband and wife, brother and brother, brother and sister, sister and sister, children and parents, and with numerous other relationships that we have in this world. If we keep Lord Krishna in the center, then everything will go on very nicely. If we keep Krishna out of the center, and we bring our ego and self-interest into the picture, then the problems arise in all relationships. Therefore, it is very important to keep Lord Krishna in the center, and then there is no place for ego, there is no place for self-interest. Then everything becomes sublime. Now the question arises, what does it mean to keep Lord Krishna in the center? Number one, what it does mean is that the husband and wife, individually and together, will be engaged in devotional service to Lord Krishna. And they will understand that our purpose of life is to develop pure love for Him and to cooperate and serve each other, advance in our spiritual life, so that we can become eventually pure devotees of Lord Krishna, and we can help others also become pure devotees of Lord Krishna. So in this way, there is a spirit of serving Krishna individually and cooperatively. So that is what keeping Krishna in the center means. But it is equally important to understand what keeping Krishna in the center does not mean. Keeping Krishna in the center and serving Him in various ways does not mean that the husband and wife will not be concerned about each other. It does not mean that in the name of serving Krishna, they will neglect each other and their genuine needs and lack sensitivity to the circumstances and situations of each other. Keeping Krishna in the center does not mean becoming insensitive, impersonal, and negligent. It means that one should be all of these things, and at the same time, one should serve Krishna wholeheartedly. Both things are required to make it complete. If there is any couple that is only concerned about each other's non-spiritual needs, and they are very sensitive to that, but there is no place for spirituality in their life, there is no scope for service to the Supreme Lord in their life, then that relationship, that marriage is considered incomplete from the point of view of our Shastras. On the other hand, if the husband and wife are so busy serving Krishna that they have no time for each other and to cater to their genuine needs and circumstances, then also that will cause some disturbance in the family life of that couple. So a combination of both these things is required. So when we keep Krishna in the center and we don't give up our sensitivity and our humanity, we remember that the other person is a devotee but also a human being, and we deal with each other in this manner. When we keep the ego out of the picture, what does it mean? It means that we understand that we are all servants of the devotees of Lord Krishna. Another time, one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, how can we avoid conflicts amongst the devotees? Because it is natural. When you're living together with some people, conflicts will arise. It is natural. There is hardly any relationship in this world where there is zero conflict. Am I right? Whatever be that conflict, whatever be that relationship, at whatever level, there will be some differences, there will be some conflict, but the idea is to ensure that these conflicts remain minor. Number one, that they don't escalate into anything major. And number two, also it means that the husband and wife develop this spirit that we are servants of the devotees of Krishna. And they see each other also as devotees, and they operate in that spirit, in that mood. So Srila Prabhupada said, conflict amongst devotees can be avoided if the devotees think of themselves as the servants of the devotees of Lord Krishna, which means no ego. When ego comes in the picture, there is no question of being servant. One becomes master or tries to become the master artificially. That only causes disturbance. So this is the Vaikuntha mood or the Vrindavan mood, in which everybody involved in the family is in the same consciousness, in the same spirit. In this material world, we have the four ashrams: Brahmachari ashram, Grihastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, and Sannyas ashram. In all the four ashrams, there are many common features, many common duties. However, the Grihastha ashram is the only ashram where renunciation is not considered a major factor. There must be some renunciation even in the Grihastha ashram, but it is not the predominant theme of the Grihastha ashram. The predominant theme of the other ashrams is renunciation. Of course, devotion to Lord Krishna is the common theme that runs across all the four ashrams. Now, the purpose of cultivating that renunciation and reposing that spirit of devotion to Krishna is that we will become pure devotees of Lord Krishna and eventually come out of the cycle of birth and death and go back to Lord Krishna's abode, the spiritual world, where we can live eternally with Lord Krishna and his family. Actually speaking, real family life is in Lord Krishna's abode, in the spiritual world. And there are no brahmacharis and vanaprasthis and sannyasis. There may be children, but there is no question of renunciation in the spiritual world, because there is nothing to renounce there. In the material world, there are many things to renounce, but in the spiritual world, there is nothing to renounce. There is no question of renouncing ego and anything else, because unless one has totally become free of all these unwanted things, one cannot enter into the spiritual world. So if one has entered into the spiritual world, it means that one is already free of all these things. So then where is the question of renunciation? Where is the question of detachment? In fact, the family life in the spiritual world is based on intense attachment. But it is intense attachment to Lord Krishna and to his associates and devotees. That same principle has to be cultivated in life in all the four ashrams, but it has to be adapted according to the particular needs of the ashram. So in student life, one has to cultivate the devotion to Lord Krishna, but one has certain duties to perform, like studies and so on and so forth. Similarly, in the Grihastha ashram, one has to also cultivate that attachment to Lord Krishna. But while doing so, one must not neglect performing one's worldly duties as well. Because without that balance, there will be disturbance. And in the Vanaprastha and Sannyas ashram, then the question of worldly duties is not there so much. It is mostly a stage when one tries to develop more and more attachment to Lord Krishna, devoid of the worldly responsibilities that are found here in our society. So there may be a difference between marriage as it is understood in the outside world and marriage as is described in our Shastras. In the Shastras, it is meant to be a spirit, a relationship that is permanent and that is meant to be a cooperative endeavor to serve the Lord. And then marriage becomes happy. Now in this day and age, marriage has become a subject of much humor and light-hearted banter. So many people say many jokes about marriage. Sometimes humor is also nice in life. So people may say little jokes here and there. There is one devotee I know, whenever he goes to any marriage function, and he meets so many people, because like all of us are guests here in this wedding, and we meet each other and we talk. So when this devotee meets somebody else whom he does not know, he would ask, "So are you happy or are you married?" So I told him, at least you should not say that in a marriage ceremony, in a marriage function. Of course, he would only say it jokingly. Somebody else has said, the secret of a happy married life is just that. It is a secret. But that secret Srila Prabhupada has revealed. Keep Krishna in the center and be sensitive. Then everything becomes happy and nice. So while people may joke about marriage, which is all right, once in a while we may have such light-hearted conversation, but we must not forget the serious purport or the import of entering the Grihastha ashram. As they enter now into this very important stage of their life, I request that all of us today who are assembled here will shower our good wishes and blessings upon the newlywed couple today, so that all their aspirations in life, and knowing them, I know that they have only spiritual aspirations in their life, that these aspirations should be fulfilled and they can live together happily, looking after each other and their families in the service of Lord Krishna and participating in this wonderful movement of spreading the bhakti cult all over. When I met Siddhanta Ratna Prabhu, Anand Prabhu, just before the wedding, I asked him, "How are you?" He said, "I'm anxious." I'm sure if I asked Nitya Kishori Sakhi also, she will say, "Yes, I'm anxious." The only word of consolation I can give you is, you are not the first two people in the history of humanity to do this. There are many others in the world who have done it, and they are happy. They are fine. So no need for anxiety. Go ahead with enthusiasm and positive energy. So all of you who wish to give your good wishes to our newlywed couple today, please raise your hands, both hands, so I know that you are sending your good wishes to them. Yes, very nice. And let us chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the marriage ceremony has been performed. so wonderfully by our uh, devotee here who is, I forgot your. Sorry? So our Ananda Hari Prabhu, who has come all the way from Bengaluru, so he has performed the wedding ceremony in such a wonderful manner. I think we should also have a word of appreciation for him. He has done the process very nicely, explained the mood and the purport of the ceremony very nicely, and I think we are all very thankful to him. You are a very important part of our devotee society because it is so important for us to do these ceremonies in the proper, authentic way. As Bhanu Maharaj mentioned, most people in general wedding ceremonies outside don't even understand a word of what the priest has said. They just come as a formality, the priest mutters some mantras and goes away, and they just want the function to get over. But our Ananda Hari Prabhu has explained everything at every stage very nicely. So thank you very much, Ananda Hari Prabhu. And also in the temple here, such wonderful arrangements have been made. Beautiful marriage hall. And so I would like to thank also the temple here, Radha Krishna temple, ISKCON temple here, and the management team and all others who are connected with the services here. Thank you all very much for making this wonderful arrangement possible. When I came here, when we reached the temple, Ranga Krishna Prabhu told me, so you have taken away one of our most valuable devotees from us, and you are taking her away to Belgaum. So I said, it is Krishna's arrangement that all that you have taught her here, all that she has done here, she will now spread all over, not only in Chennai. Why should it be limited only to Chennai? Yes? And also to the families of the bride and the bridegroom, I'm sure this is very important for all of you that this has happened, and that this has happened in such a wonderful manner in the temple of Lord Krishna with devotee priests in front of the Lord with all the assembled devotees everywhere. So a very, very auspicious ceremony indeed. So you are both very fortunate that this marriage ceremony has happened in this auspicious and exemplary manner. So thank you all very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj, that you took all the trouble to come all the way from Belgaum to here. You have been guiding me from the very beginning of my spiritual life. When I was introduced to Krishna consciousness, you have been one of my role models, and I always aspired to serve you. With that desire, I joined the Brahmachari ashram so that I can remain at a lotus feet and continue to serve. Somehow circumstances were such I couldn't continue as a Brahmachari, but I wish that by becoming a Grahastha, I still continue the same mission. Under your guidance, I can continue to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission and be a suitable instrument in your hands, Maharaj. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
आसन ग्रहण कीजिए. हरे कृष्णा. So there are vows, since all the esteemed devotees are here, so they may as well do it right away. It was very appropriate. You can repeat. Together we vow to cultivate love for Krishna and to engage in devotional service. We promise to follow the principles of Bhakti Yoga and to advance in spiritual life. We vow to establish a Krishna conscious home and to raise our children in the values of devotion. We promise to support each other's spiritual growth and to work together for the pleasure of Krishna. We vow to remain faithful to each other and to Krishna throughout our life. Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Like Govind Prabhu mentioned, it's going to be Nitya Ananda. Every day you'll be happy serving. See, everybody is happy. See, all of them are waiting to now receive you into the Prasadam hall for the most important program to take Prasadam. Hari Bol.
Maharajan.
Yesterday, I had the fortune of visiting the Parthasarathi temple in Tiruvallikeni. Yes, Tiruvallikeni, that's called, correct? Tiruvallikeni. And first time I was visiting there, magnificent temple, magnificent deities, wonderful worship going on there with lots of garlands. And from there, the pujaris on their own, they gave many wonderful Mahaprasadam garlands, the Nirmalya. So I kept them carefully to hand them over to our newlywed couple today as a prasad from Lord Parthasarathi in that temple. And also the other deities like Lord Varaha, Lord Ranganath, Lord Ramachandra, everybody's Mahaprasadam garlands are here. Hare Krishna. Yes.
These two again. Thank you. Others are small. No, very, very small marriage. So we can get a few more marriages. One. Which? Yeah. White. And your parents. Yes, my
And this is some sort of compensation for taking away Nitya Kishori from here. Ranga Krishna Prabhu, please come.
Thank you.
Both of you. And Amarendra Gaur Prabhu is here. Amarendra Gaur. Yeah. Yeah. Right. This is for you. Where is Amarendra Gaur Prabhu and your wife? Some compensation. Hare Krishna.
Side, Maharaj.
Yes.
We cannot repay for this.
Hare
My son Tulsi Prem Kishore.
Yes. Hare
He is
Krishna.
getting married in a couple of months.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. And this is for our Ananda Hari Prabhu, who has done such a nice service here. Hare Krishna.